Hey, it is Friday, December 15th. Only couple more weeks left in 2023. I am Brannon Beliso. This is Success Never Sleeps, where we, as a collective of small business owners, in particular, martial arts school owners, try to figure out this thing called life, right? I mean, we want to be profitable. We want to be happy. We want to be secure. We want to be impactful. We want to be a lot of different things. But if we don't know why we're doing any or all of those things, then we often find ourselves in what? A conundrum. How's that word, Marco? A conundrum, right? I don't think I've ever used that word in a sentence. A conundrum. You find yourself in a conundrum and you just aimlessly go through life and you wake up and like many people, when I hear people say to me, I can't wait for retirement, only 4 more years, only 3 more years, they hate what they do. That's it. I don't care how you want to slice or dice that. Look at someone like Warren Buffett still going to work. Look at someone like Elon Musk or Mark Zuckerberg who doesn't have to work a day in their life, choosing to go into because they want purpose. They want to be impactful. And if you read the book, The Mindset by Carol Dweck, where they did a study in an old folks retirement home, arthritis, depression, anxiety, all these different things. They have half of the population plants to take care of. And as they took care of those plants, guess what? They became more sociable, less irritated, more engaged. So having purpose and service for me is a big part of that. And that's why we do this show every week for you and about you. And it's only possible by what? My sponsors. We have Tucson Market Muscles, My Studio, LC Accounting, and of course, Kids Love Life Skills. All of these are services that I use, I back, I support, as well as they back me. So if you need a website, see Market Muscles. You need a CRM system, see My Studio. You need a martial arts supplier, go to Tucson. Character development, Kids Love Life Skills, and of course, for your bookkeeping needs, talk to Letitia, and she'll take good care of you. What do we got coming up? It's Time Life Canada, May 25th through 28th. That's right. It's our first Canadian tour. We'll be up there. Again, we're trying to limit it to 20 spots, but it looks like we might push that one to 30 for the 4-day experience. I'm going to release it before the new year. Get the tax write-off now. Make that investment in yourself now. Be committed. Right, all my friends in the Toronto area is where this event will be. You need to be there for 4 days. It will change your life. 1 day of training, 1 day of business, 1 day of personal development, and 1 day of wealth building and strategizing. What our 1 year, 3 year, 5 year plan is going to look like. Cool. And then, of course, here next November, 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th, I believe, we're going to have It's Time Live Purpose. That's right. Purpose. Defining that purpose. Again, same basic format, but only 20 people here spending time intimately. And it's always so much fun. Each group is special. It's like the Breakfast Club incarnated every time it happens. And it's such a unique experience to spend 1 day. And of course, here we'll try to get Dave Kovar on Saturday for training. Sunday, it's me in business. Monday, we personal development with me. And of course, Tuesday, we bring in Sam On, who has impacted my financial wealth and the growth of it tremendously. I leaned hard into Sam right around the pandemic or so, because honestly, I was afraid. I was deathly afraid of what if I use all my schools? Where am I going to have these additional revenue streams, right? What if my consulting dries up? What if all those things happen? And it really forced me, it didn't force me. It was a choice. But at the beginning, I felt like it was my only choice. And now today, it's my only choice. The amount of wealth that I grow and generate with Sam, for me, is just something unlike I've ever personally experienced. And I'm happy to share that with anybody who would like to talk about that. All right. So Sam will be there as well. As you come aboard, say hello. Who do we got today, Marco? Tell me who's here, because I don't have my glasses on. I have my glasses on. I don't. Who's here today? Facebook user Letitia. Man, you have fixed that. You have a profile there. What's that? Huh? Hey, Brannon from Miami. Roy from Miami. Okay, I'm here. Okay. I'll do this for a minute. I'll do this just to say hello. I'm getting older. Respect Martial Arts, Conrad. Goals Martial Arts, Bob Poole. Come aboard, because you know what I'm going to do today? Share with everybody that you can. Share this with everybody that you can. I'm going to offer one person today a 1 hour consultation with me, valued at what? $350 as a New Year's tune up. If you're here, you better say hello, put in your name, the name of your school where you're tuning in from, and you must share this at all your martial arts groups and share this with all your martial arts instructor friends in this world. Ready, set, go. And by the end of the show, Marco, we're going to digitally pull a winner chicken dinner. Who is that? Ivan? Ivan, what's up? Ivan from Canada. I'm going to be in Toronto, Ivan, if that's anywhere near you. Cool. So today we're talking about 2023 and everything that I've learned. And I think the big thing about that is we see all over social media, right? Look at me, I'm successful. I'm so successful. Look at this, I'm successful and I'm successful. And look at me, I'm successful and I'm happy and I'm wonderful. Look at my Rolex watch, I'm successful. But nobody, that's we talk about social media, how people don't believe in 99% of what's posted. Yet we use it for entertainment. We watch it and we go through those song and dances every day. I get it at LinkedIn and I find it extremely disturbing. I'm really interested in the work you're doing. You look like you're doing so much. I'd love to connect with you. As soon as you freaking connect, they sell you shit. You don't want to connect with me. You just want to sell me something. Be upfront. Tell me who you are. Let's do that right. So in this episode, ask those questions and Marco post those questions because I can't see them. Okay. I gotta look here, Sonny. Vision. Vincent, my buddy Vincent from Chicago. What's happening, buddy? And so, I'm going to give away an hour. But the big thing I'm going to share with you in this next hour is I'm going to be heartfelt. I'm going to go, deep. I'm going to share with you my failures as well as my successes. And I'm going to tell you, number one, my first one I've learned this year is the power of digital media. Now, you know me, I'm a community based marketing guy, the cotton candy machines, all that different stuff. But I'm going to tell you, when the pandemic hit, the only way we could reach our demographic was through Facebook ads and digital marketing. So I went down that rabbit hole. I went to a couple of different, digital marketers, and now I currently work with Kin Creative. And I've seen the impact that it's had. Is it cheap? No. Is it a necessity? Well, if you have something like Elon Musk, who's never really ran ads for Tesla, he'd maybe say no. I know Terry Lee, who has 800 students down in Sunnyvale. She doesn't do any Facebook marketing. But do I think it's necessary? Absolutely. Google business page or Instagram, all the rest, I think it's an absolute. So that's my first big learn is that we should be investing in some type of digital media. Do I think Facebook ads is still the best platform? Yeah, I do. But that doesn't matter if you don't have, your friends and family page set up for your school really well. That doesn't matter if you don't have your Facebook business page set up. That doesn't help if you don't have your Google business page set up. That doesn't help if you don't have your Instagram page. It doesn't help if you're haphazardly using stock photos, biting people's stuff, repurposing, and you're not cultivating your own brand, right? Your own brand. So when I talk about digital media, for me, everything is original content. I am not going to use someone's stock photo. I am not going to just blindly accept some script they hand me and tell me to read. I'm not going to do that. I want to make sure that it's in line with not only my brand, but the core values that our brand represents. Because for me, once you understand your why and your purpose and what that means, you live, teach, and preach it. And I'll be hell-bent on looking at somebody's ad with fires and flames and slow motion or even worse now, this AI generated Santa Claus stuff that's running around everywhere. I'm very challenged by that. Extremely challenged by that. As I shared last week when I had Brock on the show and we showed you the ads we're running, I'm enamored with digital media. I really, really am. I was a film major in college, a music minor. It fits me perfectly to cultivate scripts and content and tell stories, as I tell you all the time. And that's one of my big learnings. Become a storyteller of your business. What? Become a storyteller of your business. You need to do that. You absolutely need to do that because you are the face of your small business. Now, we're not talking about somebody big like Flo at Progressive Insurance, and she's had like a contract there for decades now. You really, really need to learn that. And I see so many miscues all the time at social media. Some school owner posting a picture of himself drinking Hennessy and smoking a cigar. And then their validation is this is my personal page. Nobody sees it. Yes, they do. Everybody can see your stuff. Make no mistake. I can go through somebody else's da 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 da, and I can see anybody that's blocked me, seen me, or otherwise. So please don't believe that that is the case. So again, you do this great digital marketing, and then it's very inconsistent at your website. It's very inconsistent at your personal social media. It's very inconsistent in the product that you offer once they're in your school. So I want you to do that right now. Take out a piece of paper, write this down. I will review all of my social media. That is one thing I've learned. I go back and eliminate dates, and things when we're closed because it's irrelevant. I learned that, when if you're closed for the holidays, things like that, put it in your stories at Instagram because that'll disappear over time. You put something as a post, it never goes away. Never, ever, never goes away. The top of your Instagram page, make sure your highlights that are there. I know you look at me like I'm nuts, but I learned this too this year. Go back and go to your highlights and make sure each highlight is for a different program. Ours would be Excellent Kids, Youth Karate Beginner, After School, Day Camps, Birthday Party, Kickboxing. If you do a post, you can highlight it. And in the post, put in the comments your link. That's simple. That's simple because we know Instagram is not very friendly when it comes to posting links in the comment that directly in the original post that directly link through. You got me? So and then you're going to go to your Google business page and you're going to make sure that's tight and right and up to date. Your goal is at least 100 reviews, 100 5 stars review. If you want to get traction and better ranking at Google, have at least 100 5-star reviews at Google. That will help you the ranking tremendously. Make sure that you put exterior shots, interior shots. Make sure you use the Google virtual tour. Make sure your Google Maps is there as well. What else can I say with that? Post pictures regularly. Treat it like your any other social media channel. There's places to put updates and posts and events and photos. Treat your Google business page at a high level. Why do I say that? If I tell you right now, take out this phone and search for martial arts in your area, where are you going to go? Yahoo? Safari? Dogpile? No, you're not. Most people are going to go to Google. So you want to be really, really mindful of that to go into your Google's page. So I'm going to preview that. And then you're going to go into your website. And I'm still doing this at our website. It needs so much work. Go in there and eliminate. I found the other day tenants. There was the word tenants under one description on a page. I went, we don't even teach Taekwondo, right? So you want to be mindful that you're constantly reviewing and you might put it into rotation. Let's say in January, I review the homepage. February, I review the youth karate page. March, I review the kickboxing page, on and on and on. You want to make sure that's updated. You want to make sure, you're always keeping it dynamic by adding new photos. And that's what I love about Market Muscles and why we chose to do that. I can go in right now and add a blog. I can go in and change a picture. I can go in and do anything. Remember, anything you mess up, Market Muscles can fix for you, right? I think we're often hesitant. Oh, I messed up my website. Open a ticket and they'll address it immediately. Cool. Another thing, if you are using Market Muscles, I've learned is the Market Muscles TV. I first really got exposed to it when I went to Marco's at Focus Martial Arts for the grand opening in April. And we had such a good time, but I was really impressed with the TV, and it's so simple to use to make updates and to do the different things. But I also learned, don't just simply run it on a smart TV. Why? It will time out because that's the way smart TVs are set up. You must get the Google Chromecast that attaches to it. I ran it through the HDMI, and that way it never, because I can put a URL into it, and it never, ever, ever times out. Okay? What else have I learned? God, I've learned so many things. I've learned that when it comes to social media, like we learned last week, and you're looking at Facebook ads, don't always think that cost per click is the all out be all. As Adam said from Kin Creatives, it is a vanity metric, right? So you look at it and think, wow, I'm only paying $1. I'll pay you $1,000 if it's going to get me a trial that's going to convert, because I'm going to make so much more money than that $1,000. But we're so, hooked on that. And it was actually one of the smallest parts we should be looking at, but it's a vanity metric that every social media company leans into, a digital media company leans into. And I get it. Right? I get it. You've got to be able to quantify why you spend that money with them. But as he shared, it's not really about that. It's the people that end up becoming leads and end up signing up. That's really what we're talking about, and metrics that can be measured and ones we should be looking at, because they are a lot lower. And as we saw, that print ad was a cheaper cost per click, but the video ad is the one that was getting us leads and people through the door. It cost a little more, cost per click, but the results were much better. You with me? So, what have I learned in my 6 months of working with Kin Creative when they were dojo launching social media and writing scripts and doing videos and learning how to run ads and all the rest? Please educate yourself. Don't just blindly cut a check and give it to some company that's using AI generated Santa Clauses and stuff. Please, it's your brand. My brand is so important to me. Why am I going to use a stock photo of a kid wearing a Superman cape? Why? Can you tell me why? Why? Your brand should be protected. And I would never see a great Apple ad use some stock AI generated photo. You need to control the narrative. And I know we don't think that's a big deal, but it really, really is. And I can say why my businesses have done what they've done and they continue to do so. I think a lot of that centers around our ability to be teachable, our ability to get out there, our ability to continue learning at a level that I believe is unequaled. That is unequaled to most even small businesses out there, not just martial arts schools. That's not to toot my horn. It's a lot of freaking work, but it was a great investment for them to hire me as their mentor in wisdom, but it was even better investment for me to learn what they do really well. Because if I'm going to be an effective consultant, I need to know what you do. I need to know everything about it really, really well to advise you well. So it was just kind of this perchance thing. And I've really understand the value of digital marketing. So have I driven enough nails into that one, Marco? What do you think? Guys, put your questions in the comment. Anyone else coming aboard? Let's see. Vincent, I got my glasses. Vincent, anyone coming aboard, remember at the end of this, I'm going to give away a 1 hour consulting with me. Great tune up for the new year, and it'll be super cool. And I'll go a step further. I'm going to put Sam on the line too on that. Sam will offer you a 30-minute consultation. How about that? And Sam will talk about your financial situation and where you're at. Cool? So 1 hour with me, 30 minutes with Sam. That's what we're giving away at the end of the show. What do you got to do? Put your name in the comments right now. The name of your school, where you're tuning in from right now. Marco will flash it up on the screen to validate who you are. And then you got to share this with some other martial arts groups and instructors. Cool? 1 hour with me, which is valued at $300 for an hour, $350. And Samon, I can't even begin. I can't even begin to share with you what that means. The work I'm doing with Sam. Cool? Because if you make money, you don't know how to save it, you don't know how to invest it, you don't know how to do something with it to create passive income, you'll just spend it. Or even worse, let it just sit in a bank collecting nothing, literally nothing, right? And then when we call you out on it, a lot of people get extremely defensive. Well, I keep it on the bank at, 1.2%. Okay. A digital bank will pay you more than that. If you put it in the market, everything is proven over, 20 years, you'll yield 8 to 11%. I mean, it's just data. It's not rocket science. It's good data. So who else is there, sir? Brian Jordan. How are you, sir? I haven't seen you in a while. I must use my glasses. Come on, who else is there? Maybe you should have like a VC concierge announce it, Marco, verbally, right? Announce it verbally, so I don't have to keep grabbing onto my glasses. So let me know who you are coming aboard. So we've talked about that. So let me move into the next big thing I've learned: investing. As I shared organically through the pandemic, I was scared. I was going to lose both schools. Not scared. I'm going to take that off the table. I, as a very smart business owner, did damage control. And that means assessing every aspect of your business. And I went through this scenario when the pandemic happened, right? What happens if we lose one location? What if we lose the other? What if I have to, cash out my entire 401k? What if I have to sell my home? All of those came across the wire. And unfortunately, we had to do none of it, right? None of it. But smart business, you always think in 360. You got to look at the best case scenario and the worst case scenario. And it's not that I'm a naysayer, right? It's not that at all. It's smart business. So you can make the best choice, the best choice. And so one of the things I chose to do at that time, and I started working with Sam on. Honestly, out of my ignorance, I dabbled a little bit with Sam. I was on the fringes. I didn't really pay a lot of attention. But once we hit that pandemic, it became a stark reality that I needed to generate other revenue streams. Believe me, the pandemic, I thought about, what do I have to go drive an Uber, right? Whatever, because I would not lose my home. I would not let my family go hungry. I will do whatever it takes. But again, by the grace of God and everything, we've survived that and we're thriving, doing really, really well. But as I started working with Sam, I began to see the value of investing. Now, people say to me, and it's pure ignorance. This is pure ignorance. The stock market is like gambling. Tell that to Warren Buffett to the tune of billions of dollars, right? Seriously, that comment is probably one of the most uneducated comments I've ever heard. And I hear that all the time, right? I've heard that all the time. So, to dispel that myth, I read a couple really good books. First of all, I went online and I started looking at all these other things because I had to make sure Sam wasn't full of it. That's the God honest truth. I wanted to make sure whatever he was telling me, could I verify it out there in the universe? And in many cases, he's really right. A lot of the media will sell you stocks and funds and things that they get commissions on. Or who controls the big media companies? Rich people, right? To sit there and say, buy this stock, and everybody buys it. And then while you're sleeping, all these rich people are selling it in a 24-hour market. You wake up the next day and that stock you bought, guess what? It's down, down, down. So I've learned not to listen to people like Kramer. For example, I don't listen to Kramer. I do not. And I don't listen to most of what's out there. I'll read, earnings reports. I'll look at different things throughout the world to say, well, this could have an impact of that. But as Sam always says to me, the stock market does not care what you think. It does not care. The stock market does what it does. And is it a form of risk? Yes, everything's a risk. Waking up's a risk. Getting in your car is a risk. Opening up a martial arts school is a risk. Getting into a relationship is a risk. Everything is a risk. But hopefully it's more of a calculated risk than anything. And I can gratefully say for myself personally, I'm experiencing the highest level of net worth, not money in the bank that I got to pay rent on the school or anything like that. My actual net worth is the highest it's ever been in my lifetime. And I thank Sam On for that. So again, put in the name of your school where you're tuning in from and all that good stuff. So investing became a big part. I learned that this year. I really, really learned the value of investing. So that's another big thing I've learned. I've learned that the big disconnect, again, going back to working with Dojo Launch, aka Kin Creative, it doesn't matter if you have great digital media, right? If your trial offer sucks, if your white belt experience to yellow belt sucks, if your 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 sucks, it doesn't matter. None of it matters because you won't be able to get people to convert from trial and you won't get people to stay. So, what have I learned? You need to constantly review and update your curriculum. That's a big one, okay? A real big one. And if you're not doing that and bettering your curriculum, then you will lose because the core product that you offer in your school is what? Martial arts instruction, not day camp, not birthday parties, not after school, none of it. And we understand that. So even though we have this great after school program and generating over 20K a month just in our after school, we were mindful that it cannot dominate our school. That's why you won't see us, as whatever the programs that are out there teaching you to do, summer camps at $99 a week or as cheap as the YMCA, and it's simply a volume gig, right? We're mindful. We take no more than 36 campers and we charge an average of 400 to 450 a week. I know we're a premium camp, but we are a martial arts school first and foremost. So I've really learned that because I thought we needed 50 after schoolers to be profitable. No, we don't. 20, well, actually 26 right now. 36 at the most. Same thing with camps, and it does not infringe upon our core product, which is martial arts instruction. So, my big learn. Please make your martial arts instruction the priority in your school. I know you want something new and shiny. You want to launch this program that has what? 3 students in it? No. Low hanging fruit. whatever program you have in your school that is the biggest program and the strongest program, I want you to lean into it tenfold with your Facebook ads, with reviewing the curriculum, with bettering the experience, with training the staff better. I want you to lean into it. You got it? Let's see what Brian has to say here. What's he got, Marco? Question. I don't know a cancellation clause. I don't have a cancellation clause on my studio, but had a chargeback and I'm challenging it. Although my studio does say it's a reoccurring fee that don't show a cancellation policy. I don't get that, Brian. Let's see. My studio does say it's a reoccurring fee that don't show you you can write it into the waiver, sir. I have a cancellation policy in our waiver. You could write that in the waiver, sir. Go look at the waiver where your memberships are set up. And you can do it there as well. We get chargebacks periodically. And honestly, we've lost probably about 90% of them. Yeah, we had this one guy, and a long story short, came in, took 3 classes, says this kid doesn't want to do it. We said, great, we'll charge you a drop-in fee for 3 classes. He said, okay. Next, he charged back the whole thing and said it was fraud. And it wasn't fraudulent, right? So again, it's part of doing business sometimes. And I'm not going to spend my time and energy because I don't want a relationship with somebody like that. Somebody did a whole month of kickboxing, right? And then called it fraud and a chargeback. If you're cool with that, if you want to live your life like that and do underhanded things like that, I don't want you in our school. I don't want a relationship with you. It's no different than someone that threatens you to give you a bad review or threatening to quit. That's not a relationship. And it's not one I'm going to be held hostage by. So again, Brian, if somebody's pulling that on you, be extremely mindful of that. What does that say? They would. Oh, thank you for sharing. Okay. Oh, yeah. You want me to share my cancellation policy? Sure. Sure. I'll pull it from the waiver and I'll send it to you, Brian, afterwards. Okay. So again, curriculum is big for us. And just doing the refresher of having Dave Kovar out during its time, my entire team was there for Dave Kovar's instructor boot camp. It's tried and true. The guy's been teaching 40, 50 years. He has 8, 9 schools. They consistently perform well through any kind of environment. That's credibility, right? These fly-by-nights, they're here for a year, they're gone. I lean into people that are legacy businesses that prove themselves decade after decade after decade. I could confidently say at least 70% of that data is relevant and I can mine it. You've been here for a year and you got 2 case studies of people doing astronomical with your program or your digital marketing. I'm sorry. That's one case study. Do that year in and year out, decade after decade, and you and I can have a conversation. Okay? We can have a conversation. So that's just my philosophy, and it's worked really well. So please, curriculum review. Next, staff training. Me and my staff have been so busy teaching. We train our instructors, but we haven't trained together. And I really felt the separation, the huge disconnect with my team and I, my upper team, the main core people. So we're getting back to that. So I'm here to tell you, don't stop it if you already do it. And if you do it, 10x it. 10x that. Because your core team, and I've taken care of them financially. We've had major, substantial raises through the pandemic, coming out of the pandemic. My 2 top guys are married with homes. One has a baby and a Tesla, and the other one, people were saying it's time. Your main guy makes more than I do as a school owner. I pay my guys really, really well. Now we need to get back to the mat and we need to start training. We're going to revamp our curriculum completely. So if you do have a second, or you have that person, lean into it. Lean into it and respect their life outside of the school, value it, help nurture it, help them fulfill their dreams, and your stock will go up with them. If all it is what's in it for me, how can you help me profit and grow more? And I don't give a shit what you do outside this business. You're going to lose. You're going to lose. And the fact that we have the mom and pop culture and we're a family culture, always pay attention to your team's dreams outside of your business and do everything you can to fulfill that. I found the big mistake in our industry is we compare a martial arts instructor to a PE teacher or a fitness teacher in a club, or you compare it to your kindergarten teacher, or, a thing of that. No, 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 no. You should really look at it upon the value they bring to your business. And, if you can help create a job situation financially where it supports their dreams outside your business. That's as diplomatically as I can say that. because I think we lean into that too much as an excuse that, this is what it pays. This is what it pays. This is what it pays. So I don't think that's advantageous. And it's something we should really, really move away from, especially in this mom and pop environment. I'm really grateful to have my guys aboard, right? And honestly, can we charge a higher dollar when we have somebody teaching that's been at it for 20 years in their 30s versus a 17-year-old kid all day, every day? Are you with me? All day, every day. So I think that's the other thing. And now we just raised our tuition again. What else have I learned? Every year, raise your tuition. Cost of living is sometimes it's been higher, but 4 to 5%. Cost of living. There should be cost of living raises built into your payroll for your team. No freaking performance review, because the dollar they made this year is not the same as the dollar they made a year ago. And second, you should be raising your tuition every year. And we call it a cost of living tuition increase every year. Every year. You guys haphazardly wait 3 years and raise it by $20 and wonder why people are quitting. If you do it a little bit at a time and it's part of your culture, part of your tuition structure, put it in your handouts. Everybody knows coming through the door that you raise your tuition every year. That will change phenomenally. Phenomenally. What's Brian asking now, sir? Put that in there. Thank you for posting these on YouTube. I watched last week's and you inspired me. Well, thank you, Brian. Thank you, sir. It's only because of my sponsors, through their support, it gives me the bandwidth to do this. So I thank them as well all the time. In the words of Michael Jackson, you're not alone. I choose to do what I do, Brian, because I am you. I am the school owner. I don't sit in a glass house. I don't sit behind a desk paying some digital media guy to make me look like I'm, this and that. I see that all the time. Someone that's out there consulting, and you never see him in a martial arts uniform or anything like that. All of a sudden they need some credibility. So all of a sudden they're in some, kickboxing match. I don't know what the hell that is, right? I don't know what that is. Right? I am on the mat like you. I've done this 56 years. And I posted that video recently of the documentary with my dad. My dad passed away 3 weeks ago. And I posted that video. I mean, there's not much more credibility than that, man. Right? There just isn't. There just isn't. So it's so easy to fabricate anything I want via social media. And I would be extremely mindful of that, which leads me to the next one. What have I learned? Right? I've learned to take 99.9% of everything at social media with a grain of salt. I watch people get so butt hurt and they launch into this whole soliloquy. And I'm wondering, when do you have time to run your business? This thread looks like it's been going on for hours. That 4 or 5 paragraph thing you wrote must have taken some time. When are you running your business? So I think understanding how to leverage social media to your advantage, right? It built my whole consulting business. It saved us during the pandemic, the whole internet. I'm ever mindful. And that's why I live and die by my credence of love, block, delete. You come at me hard, you come at me with any negativity. I'm not going to argue anything. You're right. I will tell you, you're absolutely right, because I'm not going to engage. I will simply love, block, and delete. I understand this tool of social media. I understand the value of social media. Post, like, comment. Write that down. Post, like, comment. That is truly the value of social media. And if you're using it that way, especially when a parent posts a photo or anything like that, it can really help get people to become raving fans of your community. Right? If all you're doing is 1999, 1999, 1999, sign up now, you're going to lose. You're going to lose. Understanding the native environment of that is really, really important. So as I negotiate this space, and I've been consulting now better part of a decade, I've been running schools for well over 24 years now. I see people come and they go, right? Put that in a comment. Do you see people come and go? I do all the time. Hey, what's up, Miss Monique? You want to be mindful of that. And that's why me leaning into legacy businesses now has become pretty much a staple. If you can't verify anything other than some, 30-second spot you've produced of a school owner going, yeah, I got 10,000 students with this company in 1 month. And, That's anyone can fabricate that, you guys. It doesn't require much. Please do your homework and be mindful of that. Okay. So I've learned that too this year, to really have a thick skin when it comes to social media and simply love, block, and delete. And if people are hating on you, I can dismiss that I must be doing something if these people are hating on me. I don't want anyone hating on me. So I simply I love you, I block you, and I delete you, right? Sure, my ego says, yeah, they're talking about me, whether it's good press or bad press, it's press. No, I do not want negative energy into my headspace, which will convert into my heart space. That is me. If it's you, please learn that discipline because you need social media. I say need, and I'm going to say that passionately. You need it. You need it to cultivate your culture, your tribe, to promote your events. All those different things need to happen. And if you're going to allow the other stuff that comes with to affect you and impact you, that can be extremely dangerous, right? People friend us all the time and then post their ads at our page without any kind of, and I immediately block them. Like, what makes you think I'm going to allow you to post it in the culture of my Facebook group page, right? Your ad about whatever. It's just not going to happen. So again, controlling the narrative. And the best people who are good at that are Apple. Apple controls the narrative. And you look at everything they write, it's very well thought out. Strategically, they just don't haphazardly post stuff. So, what did we learn from that? To be very mindful of information coming in from social media as well as information going out. Cool? All right. If you have any questions, put them in the comments. Remember, at the end of today's broadcast, we're giving away a 1-hour consultation with me with a great tune-ups for the 2024 as well. A 30-second consultation with Sam on wealth building for you. Okay? Who's got that? Make sure you get that. Get it, get it, get it, get it. What else? We just installed that Market Muscle TV. We did a new bulletin board. We did a new pro shop. I can't tell you the feedback we get. So, Starbucks mentality. They remodel, refurbish, whatever word you want to utilize. They do it about every 3 years. So, every year in our schools in about October, because we want to spend all that money before December 31st, right? Otherwise, you give it away to Uncle Sam in form of taxes. Go through everything. I'm going to encourage you, paint, paint, and more paint. A good coat of paint goes a long, long way. Taking one area, and this has been very strategic. We take one area of the school, one wall, and we redo it. Creatively, it's like a palette. I can see this blank canvas. I do one wall. Now I'm getting ready to do another wall. I tested in San Francisco and Millbrae first, and if it works, we hit up San Francisco, and we just did it. I'll post the video. So we did it in San Francisco. It's beautiful. It's a great idea, but it's tested. So I would put into rotation based upon your budget all that wish list. That I've learned, because what it does for the tribe, what it does for retention is phenomenal. If people show that you're taking care of the space they're in, it's phenomenal. I did that little thing I picked up from Team Martial Arts this year. I put in a toddler toilet seat. It goes on top of the regular toilet seat. Why? So those little buckaroos don't fall in the toilet. How amazing was that? I can't tell you how many silly comments I got about that, right? But it's important that we make upgrades all the time. Another addition was lollipops. I can't tell you. I don't know how it freaking started. I think I went to Costco one day, folks. That's all I did. And I saw these dum-dums or these little charm pops. And it's a little amount of sugar, about that big. And I think we had them in the after-school program. And the kids were walking around with, a lollipop. And then I remember the kids in the class said, "Can we get one too?" And I think it was like, okay. So I brought the bucket out from the back and after school, right? And I put it out front and everybody loved it. Then the bucket went away. And then everybody says, "What happened to the lollipops?" Now, culturally, it's part of what we do. I kid you not. And honestly, I think more of our parents eat them lollipops than the kids do. But I think what really endears it to the parents, it's really a nominal amount of sugar. It's just like it's a treat at the end of class. And I can't tell you how many of my parents are sitting there with a little white stick hanging out of their mouth, right? So again, always looking for ways to improve that experience, to better your environment should be a priority on what you've learned today. A priority, priority. And so we just changed all the faucets, right? Because they give us better water pressure. There's no leaks. We'll save on the water bill, and it's more functional for a kid who's 5 years old. There are actual better choices. How many have hot water in your bathrooms? Put it in the comments. How many have hot water in your bathrooms? Anybody? Put it in the comments. Who else is here? Who else is here? I see Miss Monique. Come on. Who else is here? I'm going to take a break for a second, breathe. Thank you, Brian, for all the questions and participating in today's gig. Everybody who's here, tell me your name, where you're tuning in from, the name of your school. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Marco, you have hot water. Take it out. What? Take it out. Or at least put it somewhere the kids can't get to it. I know you have the janitor's tub, so that might be a different conversation. But in our main bathrooms that the kids use, there is no hot water coming in. Absolutely not, please. Please, because kids can get scalded. Bottom line. So in our main bathrooms that are used by the children, there is no hot water. Oh, there is no hot water. Put that one down. And again, things you learn, right? I don't know when that was. Might have been in the second, third year in San Francisco. I went in there, because I was doing something and I needed hot water. And I'm sitting there and I ran my hand under it. And it was really hot. And I went, what if a kid's in here? Oh my God. How did I think of that? You don't know what you don't know, but more you don't know what you don't think about. So what it helps does for me, I know this sounds kind of silly. It's just a visionary mindset. I'm always looking to better the experience. So one of the things I've learned, right? We upgraded the walls, added the TVs this year, added the toddler seats, is I constantly must look for ways to improve my environment, the physical environment of what you do, the physical environment of what you do. I spent like $8,000 to get my mats shored up because they didn't look right. Something was right. So they went in with back to back tape, all these things, cut new mats, did all of us. Now my floor in Millbrae is really, really tight. Could I have done it myself? Yes. I just don't have the time to do it. I don't. So that is what it is. We've learned a lot of things today, huh? So I want you to put in any questions that you might have before I launch into my next thing about what I've learned. How many of you have shared this? Who has shared this? As I shared at the end of this, I'm giving away an hour of consulting with me. Great way to tune up for the new year. And also 30 minutes with Sam on. Sam on. You'll get a consultation with Sam on wealth building. Cool. So what else have I learned this year? That it's super important to be creative. It's super important to expand upon that. And how do we do that? The law of attraction. Oh man, here comes Brannon. Kumbaya, right? His Yoda shit. I hear you. Stay with me on this. So 3 new things I've kind of created this year. My It's Time group mentoring, we're resurrecting, and we want to be able to offer it at a better price point, affordability, so more small school owners can get involved. But I've also brought my friends along, right? Marco, I've brought Jason, I've brought Miss Monique. So this is a new adventure. Is it going to be another revenue stream? Yes. Yes, it will. Will it impact the martial arts industry and help it? Yes, it will. So again, bringing my friends along, helping them move into generating other revenue streams while we're doing good work is primo. Primo. Another one, we have Sam on joining me for wisdom now, right? I wanted to add value to wisdom. And when Sam approached me about teaming up for wisdom, I said, that's a good thing. Are we going to charge you more for it? No. So who does that come out of? Me. It's going to come out of me. And I'm cool with that. I'm totally cool with that because it's one of the missing components of wisdom was wealth building, right? So by being able to have Sam on with you on wisdom is going to be monumental. And then third, the guys at Dojo Launch offered me a deal. I'm coming aboard as an advisor and a brand ambassador. So I will be partnering with Dojo Launch, which is now Kin Creative. And I'm really excited about that. So 3 new ways to help impact the industry, 3 new ways to better our industry, 3 new ways to work with people I love, and 3 more ways to generate additional revenue. You with me? Because I don't believe with our martial arts schools alone is enough. It simply isn't. right? For me and what I want to achieve, my number to retire on, all those things that are circling. Plus, if I can do good work and hang out with people I love, I'm for it all day, every day, all day, every day. So, in your business, what are you doing to generate more revenue? Is it going to be a new program? Is it going to be after school? Is it going to be day camp? I had a conversation with one of my wisdom clients. He's thinking of dropping after school completely because he could saturate it with more time slots, with martial arts classes, right? And generate the revenue that he'll be missing from the after school program and more and more. We've had that conversation. We just have a deep sense of loyalty to the kids that have been in our program for 3, 4, 5 years. We do. We do. So we keep that program. But make no mistake, it's generating 20 something K a month. By the time we pay taxes, payrolls, vans, insurance, and all the rest, we're still clearing, probably about 9 to 10,000 a month off of that program. So again, it's 120K a year. It's a good additional revenue stream, right? It is. It is. And that's profit I can take, to reinvest into my retirement. I mean, it's that simple, but you have to be clear on that. You do. You do. So last but not least, then I'll open the floor to more questions, please. Is your mindset, I spend a lot of time cultivating my mindset. This whole system of checks and balances to help me not get derailed and go down this hole of desperation and depression or anxiety or self-loathing. I have all these different systems in place and I have these triggers that let me know when I'm in that space. Why? Because you are a human being. I don't care how financially successful you are. I don't care how many people are praising you from the mountaintops. You are human. You cannot tell me you're not subject to getting sad or blue or mad or filled with anxiety. Every human being is. It is. Otherwise, you're just lying to yourself. So, again, investing in your personal development will always be monumental for me. And it's not simply taking another Tony Robbins, power event so you can show everybody you're so freaking cool, or another Dave Ramsey seminar, another Grant Cardone. I'm talking about that personal journey inward of personal development. Letitia said it to me the other day. I was really, I was kind of unbalanced when my papa died, and I'm very public about it. We were asked not to go to his funeral from his wife, via my cousin. We were omitted from his obituary. Yeah, my sister Michelle went anyways, and she sat there and texted me a screenshot and said we didn't exist. And I said, nobody can take that from us, Michelle. We existed in Dad's life until he got married 40 years ago. You can't take that away. But of course, on a human level, I was hurt. I was hurt. And I found myself reverting for a minute back to that traumatic childhood of foster homes and of the physical, parental physical abuse and all the rest. And I had to put on the brakes, journal, meditate, put on some Bob Marley, you know, check myself and get recentered and regrounded and go, whoa, you don't have to go back down that road. But all the things that are circumstantial were triggering old behaviors. So, what have I learned about my personal development? All that stuff that happened in my past, it will never go away. But as I said, I got the red dog, I got the blue dog, right? Red dog is all that negativity, all the things that were traumatic. It sits there. But as long as I don't feed into it, that dog stays dormant. He's weak. He can't act out. But I throw him a freaking Ritz cracker, he's off and running. This one. Ooh, the blue dog, right? Self-esteem, good work ethic, loyalty, all those things that I aspire to be the best version of myself. I feed this guy all day, every day, 24/7, 365. I lean into my blue dog. So, in your own personal development, which I find is the biggest thing stopping anybody from being successful, is your own lack of investment into your personal development. You're the leader of the band, right? You're the visionary, you're the architect. And if you don't walk your talk, if you're not everything you're supposed to be, that leaves room for doubt. That team's going to look at you and go, I don't know. I don't know, because on a human level, it's hard to be inspired by somebody that says one thing and does something else. It's hard to be inspired by someone that's dictating to me, telling me to do 10 push ups instead of getting down next to me and doing 10 with me. The most successful leaders are the ones that are hands on, they lead by example, they're in the mix. So, I end with that today because for me, that's probably the single most important thing that lacks in any business, especially in our industry. In our industry, tenfold. Everybody wants another degree, another belt, another freaking title, right? But nobody wants to do the work. I get it. It's very humbling to be 62. And every time I get done working out, I hurt. I, I hurt. And it's humbling as can be. But you know what? What's the alternative? Don't move at all, let atrophy set in, and completely become like the Tin Man in the Wizard of Oz, and I need a can of oil just to move every time I get arrested? No way. I will keep moving. And if all I got is 60%, I'll give that 100% of that 60 at 62. The big thing is when the ego takes over, and it says punch, and this hand moves 5 seconds later because I am getting older, right? So I just dismiss, I'm not going to work out at all. And what am I going to do instead? I'm going to sit there in a state of nostalgia. Remember back when I was the champion? And please don't do that. Keep moving, be that example, and look at it not as a burden, but what an honor to live up to your own personal standards, which are the best example to inspire your team and everybody else. I'm not saying live up to your parents' standards, live up to your client standards, live up to your team standards. No, no, no. I'm saying have such an investment in your own personal development through study, through a mentor, through journaling, through reading, through investing into things like retreats or whatever it takes. Figure it out because I don't know what works for you. To be in that place of personal development where you validate yourself. And I don't mean ego, not at all. I mean, where you definitely have the pure, humble self confidence of I do the work to be the best version of me, and that will radiate out into the world. So, that law of attraction, the law of abundance that I personally believe I'm experiencing today doesn't come from ego, doesn't come from insecurity. It doesn't. It comes from doing the work, doing the right work, and recognizing that. I said that last night at the entrepreneurship. I went to San Francisco City College, held an event, and they were giving me an award. And I'm not big on accolades, I'm just not. But I was really touched. So I thought it was just an end of the year thing for this entrepreneur startup program at San Francisco City College, but it wasn't. They were giving awards, and I was getting an award. So I went. But the big thing I said, because I taught 2 classes, then I jetted into traffic in downtown, got this award, and jetted back to teach kickboxing. I stood there, you guys, in shorts and leggings and I was ready to teach kickboxing, and I told them this is the life of an entrepreneur. Here was my day. I woke up at 5, 6 o'clock. Sam and I were in the market taking care of business, took my kids to school, right? It's become some of the most valuable time, that little 15, 20 minutes when I drive my 2 kids to school and it's just me and them. Then I came back home. I met with 2 or 3 wisdom clients, I believe. Then I jetted into San Francisco because we have the guy, putting up the TV and the pro shop. Then I jetted over to Millbrae. I taught 2 classes. Then I jetted to downtown, right, to get this award. And I'm going to leave here right after, and I'm going to jet back and go teach a kickboxing class. That is the messy life of an entrepreneur. That is it. It's not this glamorous social media where you see someone driving, a Lamborghini, or you see someone sitting there by the pool. That is not it 24/7, 365. There are moments like that, absolutely. But the real work that needs to be done that makes me successful is I'm willing to do what everybody else is not willing to do. Now, I'm not saying compromise my core values or anything like that. I'm saying I'm willing to clean the toilet. I'm willing to double back and teach a class. I'm willing to do whatever it takes to improve the quality of our experience and get people to not buy into what we do, get people to believe in what we do. right? Do you have that in your business? So when you see innovative ideas like my Christmas party last week, right, with all the selfie stations and that, someone said, wow, I've never seen that before. I just made it up because I want to improve the experience. I want to do all those things that I'm genuinely dedicated to our purpose of live your best life. And those are all the things I've learned in 2023. You got questions? We got about 5 minutes. While we do it, let's see what we got here, Marco. Brian, thank you for sharing as always. I wondered how you handled it. Oh, good. Good. Any questions? Put them in there, Marco. Let's just kind of, talk about everything going on. We got It's Time Live Canada, May 25th through 28th. That's coming up. I want you to be there, please. Again, we have the discipline of only allowing 20 people. This one might be 30 in Canada because the response is overwhelming, but we need to best serve. Is it more than any other event out there? In some cases, some people say it is, but the experience you get in 4 days, 1 day of training, right? How to teach better, how to structure classes, how to do rotating curriculum. 1 day here of all business, social media, business structure, leadership, all that. 1 day of purely personal development. And then 1 day of wealth building and strategizing for the 1 year, 3 year, 5 year plan. You are not going to get anything more well-rounded than that for 4 days. No, you're not. You're not. And your investment, you're going to get hundreds of thousands of dollars of learning in those 4 days. So what do we got, Marco? It's Time Live Canada, May 25th through 28th. I'm going to put it out in the next week. Sign up now. Why? So you get the tax write-off for 2023. Don't wait till the last freaking minute. Book your flights and everything now. Why? Because they are cheaper. That's it. That is the long and short of it. You with me? Who's with me? And then, of course, we got It's Time Life Purpose. My event here in Millbrae has become something so just, it's a unicorn. People come and watch classes. We sit there and train together. Dave Kovar's here on Saturday. Sunday was me, and we, had people like Terry Lee. Adam was here. And then Monday, all the personal development, the walk in the woods, the meditation, the journaling, all those things. And Sam on Tuesday with wealth building and just, the accountability partners and what we go through in those 4 days. This is our 8th year of doing this. And each time it creates these long-term friendships, relationships, and nobody's ever left without being able to apply things and become wildly successful in their own version of success. So when is that? November 9th through 12th. Again, I'm going to post that in the next week. Get it, sign up for it, get the tax write-off now for 2023. Cool? Let's thank our sponsors, Marco. As always, man, people I love, I just love their products. They're getting better and better. Tusaw, my father was one of their first clients in the 90s. You might know them as Vision, is another company name they go by as they rebrand. Market Muscles, I love you, Stephen. Two in my studio, Lynette and the gang. Kids Love Life Skills, we got Marco, Chris, Ben, my sister Letitia, holding that down. And of course, LC Accounting. All people I work with. Not simply I'm a brand ambassador for, I work with them. So I vouch for their products because I use them, right? I'm not going to tell you something I don't use. And soon we're going to add to this roster Kin Creative, and we're going to add Sam onto this. These are people I trust, right? And I think that's the big thing with that is, I want to hang out with people I trust. I want to hang out with people that when things aren't going well, I can call them up and cry on their shoulder. And the yin to the yang of that, when things aren't going well, I'm not jumping ship. Relationships are built upon the good and the bad when you endure through good times and in bad, because they will be there. There will be difficulties. And when they rear their ugly head, that's where you find out the value of the relationship first above all. And isn't that what we're asking from our parents, people? Isn't that what we're asking from our parents? We're saying, hey, pandemic, stick with us. Hey, mortgage crisis, stick with us. Hey, we lost 2 instructors, stick with us. Because the relationship we have is more important. The other day, we scholarshiped a couple of kids, right? Because a single parent was struggling. Lo and behold, they got a job within a week and said, hey, just give me January and reactivate in February. That could have went on for a year or two. I didn't care. It was doing the right thing and keeping those kids in the martial arts that is so beneficial for them. You with me? I hope you're with me on this, because if we can live from purpose, if we can live from that place, I promise you, you will make money. It's like the scene in Jerry Maguire. They're in the bathroom. Tom Cruise is talking to Cuba Gooding. Stop whining and complaining, about who's not throwing you the ball, who's not getting you this, who's not giving you your qualm. Just play football from the heart, and I will show you the money, right? It's the same thing here. Got to do it smart, got to do it right. You got to do with people that you think can teach you something and offer you learning. But if you don't take action, you don't have the heart to follow through day in and day out, 24/7, 365. It doesn't matter what I said today. It will be meaningless. Meaningless. So do what you love, do it smart, do it right, and I will show you the money. Cool? So subscribe to this podcast, Success Never Sleeps, where we have it at YouTube. It's at Spotify, all the major podcast platforms. I also have mindful meditation where we meditate and take care of that mind. Do follow us at the Disruptor Group. The files alone in the Disruptor Group are worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Why don't I promote it? Because if you don't have the gumption as a small business owner to mine that data in the Disruptor Group under files, it's your own damn fault. It is. It is. And I want you to shift that mindset. All right. For everything else, go to BrannonBeliso.com. Thank you, Marco, for holding down the back end of this craziness. Did I miss anybody there? Anybody got a question in there for me, Marco? Let's see. Brian, stick around to the end. We have a great announcement and you will want to hear. Okay. So what's a great announcement we want to hear, Marco? We're going to draw that winner. We have the winner for 1 hour of consulting with me, right? A great tune-up for 2024. Spend an hour with me on the phone, valued at $350. Who's that going to go to today, Marco? Drum roll. Who's that going to, Marco? Brian Jordan. You get an hour with me, sir. You are the winner, chicken dinner, in the words of Guy Fieri. Second, 30 minutes with Sam on. I mean, I can't tell you the value of that. I probably can't even put a price on it. 30-minute consultation with Sam on to kind of review where you are financially, where your headspace is, and hopefully he can influence you on that. Who's going to get 30 minutes with Sam on, Marco? Oh, man, I'm throwing Marco for a loop. He says, I thought both of those were going to one people. No, we need a winner. We need a winner. Who else is there? Marco, can you hear me? Post a winner. He's doing his digital thing. Who is it? Who is it? Who is the winner? Bob Poole. Bob Poole. You get 30 minutes with Sam on. I'll reach out to Sam. I'll connect you guys at Facebook. Okay, Bob? Make it happen, right? Make it happen. When's the best time to start investing? Now. When's the best time to open a business? Now. When's the best time to buy real estate? Now. Now. Don't wait. You can't time the market. You can't time anything. Do it now. And I promise you, it is one of the mindsets I live and die by to be successful. You try to time things and wait. I'm just waiting for the right time. There's no right time. Now is the right time because all you have is today. Cool. I am Brannon Beliso. This is Success Never Sleeps. Until we talk again, what are you going to go out there and do? Live your best life.